everyone. As we have seen so far in the chapter Plant Kingdom, the different kinds of the groupism of plants, and on the basis of evolutionary techniques they have been classified. So previously we have seen algae, bryophytes and the pteridophytes. So now today we are going to learn gymnosperms. So as we have seen in the case of pteridophytes, that means it's a precursor for seed habit. That means now after the pteridophyte, evolutionary changes have been done in the gymnosperms family. So in the gymnosperms we can say that here there might be chances of such characteristics. So let us see the gymnosperms, and it is known as necked seeds. That means gymnos, necked, sperma, seeds. They are the plants in which the ovules are not enclosed by any ovary wall and remain exposed. That means here the ovaries are not enclosed with the ovary wall. They are remained exposed both before and after fertilization. So before and after fertilization the ovules are not enclosed any way with the help of ovary wall. Here the seeds that develop post fertilization, that means after fertilization also the seeds that develop, they also not covered, that means they are also necked. So here we can say that the ovules are also not enclosed by any ovary wall. Also the seeds that develop after fertilization also they are necked. Gymnosperms include medium sized trees or tall trees and shrubs. That means here we can see the variety of trees, plants and shrubs. So they are bigger in size as well as they are shrub also. One of the gymnosperms, the giant redwood tree, that means its name is Sequoia sempervirens. So here sequoia is one of the tallest tree species. We can say that it can gain height up to 125 meters. So it's the big one. The roots are generally tap roots. That means here only simple kind of tap roots are there. Roots in some genera have also certain characteristics, like some roots have fungal association in the form of mycorrhiza. That means they have symbiosis with fungi like pinus. While in some other cases, cycas, small specialized roots called coralloid roots are associated with nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria. That means here the two varieties of plants are seen. Plants those having taproots but association of fungi, that means mycorrhiza such as pinus or the pine trees, while the cycas they having small specialized roots called as coralloid. They are the roots that associated with nitrogen fixing cyanobacteria. These strains are unbranched or branched. Unbranched in the case of cycas, while branched in the case of pinus and cedrus. Leaves also here having variety. They may be simple or compound. In cycas, the pinnate leaves persist for a few years. That means they are being attached to the mother body. The leaves in the gymnosperms are well adapted to withstand extremes of temperature, humidity and wind. That means they can withstand the extremes habitat also. In conifers, the needle-like leaves reduce the surface area. That means here the leaves are somewhat like needle shaped. That's why they reduce the surface area. That thick and cuticle and sunken stomata also help to reduce water loss. So here we can say that many characteristics have been seen in the case of gymnosperms. First one, the gymnosperms, that means gymnos meaning that necked, sperma that means seeds. So here seeds are not covered by any ovary wall. They are necked up to their lifespan. Also, here these seeds before and after fertilization they are necked. Here also in the case of gymnosperm, variety of plants that they may be higher trees, shrub and all these. So in the case of higher trees, one of the example is sequoia. Sequoia has height up to 125 meter long. So we can see that the redwood trees, that means the example here is the sequoia. In the case of roots also, they possess simple tap roots, but like pinus, they have some symbiosis with fungal association that is known as mycorrhiza. While some like cycas plant have small specialized coralloid roots are there. That means they having association with nitrogen fixing bacteria. They are cyanobacteria. These stems also possess variety. They are either unbranched or branch. Unbranched in the case of cycas and branch in the case of pinus and cedrus. The leaves may be simple or compound. That means they are either simple or compound leaves. So variety of leaves are also here, simple or compound. That means in the case of simple leaves, they are grouped as individual, while in the case of compound leaves, many leaves are together on the same branch. So variety in the case of pinnate leaf is also seen here. That means in the cycas, the leaves are pinnate. They are being attached to the mother plant up to some time of their lifespan. The leaves in the gymnosperms are well adapted to extremes of the temperature, humidity and the wind. In conifers, the needle-like leaves reduces the surface area. That means their thick cuticle and sunken stomata also help to reduce water loss. So here you can see the variety of plants, cycas, pinus, etc. So now the gymnosperms are heterosporous. That means the spores produced here are two types. They produce haploid microspores and megaspores. The two kinds of spores are produced within sporangia, that are borne on sporophylls which are arranged spirally along an axis of the leaves to form latex or compact strobili or cones. Likewise, we have also seen that in case of pteridophytes, the strobili or cones are being produced. So, in the case of gymnosperms, the spores are heterosporous and they produce two different kinds of spores. They are microspores and megaspores. The two kinds of spores are produced within sporangia, that are borne on the apex of the leaves to form legs or compact strobili or cones. The strobili, that means the cone-shaped structure, bearing microsporophylls and microsporangia. They are called as microsporangiate or male strobili. That means it is the male sex organ. The microspores develop into a male gametophytic generation, which is highly reduced and is confined to only a limited number of cells. Then after it is reduced gametophyte and then it is known as pollen grains. So these pollen grains are necessary for reproduction. Further, the gymnosperms are heterosporous. They produce mega and microspores. The two kinds of spores are produced within sporangia, that are borne on sporophylls which are arranged spirally along an axis to form legs or compact strobili or cones. The strobili bearing microsporophylls and microsporangia are called microsporangiate or male strobili. The male strobili, here the microspores develop into a male gametophytic generation. Further, here in the case of gymnosperms, they produce heterospores, that means mega and the microspores. Both mega and microspores that will be formed on the sporangia. So, the male strobili or microsporangiate that forms the microspores, or we can say that they are the male spores. The microspores develop into the male gametophytic generation, which is highly reduced and is confined to limited number of cells. And this reduced gametophyte is called a pollen grain. The development of pollen grain that takes place within the sporangia, that is microsporangia. The cones bearing megasporophylls with ovules or megasporangia. So for microspores to be produced, they are being produced in microsporangia. The megaspores, they are being produced in megasporangia. The microspores, they are known as male strobili and they reduce to form pollen grain. While the megasporangia, they are called as macrosporangiate. That means they are somewhat bigger as compared to microsporangiate. Or they are also known as female strobili. And strobili is what? Strobili, it is the structure that is somewhat related to cone shape. The male or female cones or strawberry may be born on the same tree. That means in the case of pinus. While in the case of cycas, male and female sporangia and the megasporophytes, they are born on different trees. The megaspore mother cell, that means the cell that having more concentrated cytoplasm, is differentiated from one of the cells of nucellus, and the nucellus is protected by envelopes. So coverings are there to protect it. The composite structure is called an ovule. So here the structure now formed, it is termed as ovule. But the ovules that are not covered by any kind of ovary walls. The ovules are born on megasporophylls, which may be clustered to form female cones. The megaspore mother cell divides meiotically to form 4 megaspores, and one of the megaspores enclosed within the megasporangium and develops into a multicellular female gametophyte that bears 2 or more archegonia or female sex organs. The multicellular female gametophyte is also retained within the megasporangium. So unlike bryophytes and pteridophytes, in gymnosperms, the male and female gametophytes do not have an independent free-living existence. They remain within the sporangia, retained on the sporophytes. Then after the pollen grain is released from the microsporangium, they are carried in air current and come in contact with the opening of the ovules. And here ovules are not protected by ovary wall, so they are opened, necked. They are born on megasporophylls. The pollen tube carrying the male gametes grows towards archegonia in the ovules and discharge their contents near the mouth of archegonia. So with the help of air current, the pollen grains transferred to the female sex organ archegonia, having female structures as well as having female spores. So now they come in contact with each other. The pollen tube carrying the male gametes, that is being originated from the pollen grains, and then after they grows towards the archegonia in the ovules and discharge their contents. That means the gametes are discharged there. Following the fertilization, the zygote develops into embryo and ovules into the seeds. That means here after fertilization, both the haploid kind of gametes that will attach with each other, they form zygote. Zygote will be of 2n kind, and then after they will form embryo and the ovules into the seeds. These seeds are not covered. That's why they are called as gymnosperms. The examples are cycas, pinus and the ginkgo, citrus also. So here further we can see how reproduction takes place in the case of gymnosperms. So for gymnosperms plant, the 2 different kind of spores are produced. They are heterosporous, megaspores and microspores. Microspores for male, megaspores for female. The 2 kinds of spores are produced within sporangia, and sporangia are born at the apex on sporophylls to form legs or compact strobili or cones. The strobili that bear in microsporophylls and microsporangia are called microsporangiate or male strobili. The microspores develop into a male gametophytic generation which is highly reduced and is confined to only limited number of the cells. This reduced gametophyte is called as pollen grains. So now we have pollen grain that is necessary for fertilization, necessary to form zygote, and the other one, that female ovule, that is necessary, that are being produced on the microsporangia. So on the megasporangia, so the megasporangia are called macrosporangiate or female strobili. The male and female cones or strobili may be born on the same or on the different kind of the trees. So now after forming these spores, the pollen grains, with the help of air current, they will come in contact with the archegonia that is produced on the megasporangium, and then after they will come in contact with archegonia of female organ. Then after, the pollen tube will be formed from pollen grain that will come in contact with the ovule, and where they release their contents, that means gametes. The gametes now join together to form zygote, and then after they will turn into an embryo, and the ovules are then turned into the seeds. But here the seeds are necked. That's why they are known as gymnosperms. Thank you. Thank you so much.